Howdy, iLearners. If you've made it to this video, you're here because you're interested in learning how to locate your project proposal template, copy and paste that template into your own project proposal document, and properly fill out that document. So we'll start here on our agenda page. And on the right side of that page, there's a button called Project Proposal. You'll click on that button and it will take you to a project proposal template. You will highlight that entire document, copy it, and then you'll go into your drive, into your iLearn shared folder, and create a new document. And you will paste what you just copied into your own proposal document. First thing you want to do is you want to name it, and you want to name it properly according to our naming convention. So in my case, it would be my first name and the first initial of my last name, dot, we'll call it project proposal, and that's exactly what you will call it, dot Griffin / Noonan. And that's going to be your proper naming convention so we can search your proposal easily when we're attempting to give approval. So you click OK, and now it's named properly. You'll see that up in the top right. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to increase the size here so you can see a little bit easier. The first thing, obviously, you want to make sure you do is put your name at the top. So in my case, I would put Jordy Griffin. Okay. And then read the directions carefully. And it says, please fill out this entire graphic organizer. This is your proposal or pitch that you're going to be making to Mr. Griffin and Mr. Noonan to get approval to move forward on your project. It is key that you are thorough in your thinking and your explanation, as this is the way you are expressing your project idea to us. So you want to be as detailed as possible, because the more detailed you are, the better chance that you'll get approval and we won't need to ask more questions. So we start with the project topic, and there's a statement here that says, I will make PAML a better place by, and you're expected to complete that statement here. And notice that the focus of your project is going to be a way to make PAML a better place. So I'm going to borrow a project from one of last term's students, and he was interested in starting a lacrosse expert. Actually, he wanted to start a lacrosse team, but he quickly realized that it was more realistic for him to make it an expert class. So if I was doing his project, I would finish the statement by saying, by creating he wanted to do a 5th and 6th grade lacrosse expert class. So his statement read, I will make PAML a better place by creating a 5th and 6th grade lacrosse expert class. Great. To the point. We understand what he's trying to do. The second is the summary, and this is where you're going to get more detail. And it says, give a short description of your topic. For example, if you're going to focus on random acts of kindness, you'll want to explain the kinds of acts you'll want to carry out, as well as why. Well, in this case, we're talking about a lacrosse expert. So I would say my intention is to create a term 7 lacrosse expert. My hope is to identify and sign up 5th and 6th grade students who are interested in learning about sport of lacrosse. And my rationale is that I am passionate about the sport. I know other PAML students are as well. So by starting this expert, I will be making PAML, a better place. And so I want, obviously now I want to reread that. So my description reads, my intention is to create a Term 7 lacrosse expert. My hope is to identify and sign up 5th and 6th grade students who are interested in learning about the sport of lacrosse. I'm passionate about the sport, and I know other PAML students are as well, so by starting this expert, I will be making a PAML a better place by giving other kids a way to follow something they care about. I think that kind of brings my summary full circle. All right, so now the next question is, now that we know what we're doing, we want to try and identify some resource and materials that we think we'll need. And you're going to try your best to list everything, but you can always know that you may become aware later on of additional resources and materials that you'll need. So you just want to try and list as many as you can here. So first off, I think I'm going to need my iPad. I'm going to need internet access. I'm going to need the ability to create uh, Google Forms to do my surveys. When it comes down to the actual expert class, I'm going to need a location. I'm going to need lacrosse sticks and cross balls. Right now, that's really what I can think of. I can always come back to this if I need to. So I'm going to move on to the next question, which says, what teacher support are you going to need to make this happen? And I think I'm going to need a fair bit. I'm going to need advice and advocacy from Mr. Griffin and Mr. Noonan. I'm going to need principal, be sure to use proper spelling, of course, principal permission and support for the class. Oh, I'm going to need to find someone, I'm going to need a teacher to run the class. I'm going to need probably the athletic director for field space and access to equipment. And so far, that's what I can think of. So again, I can always come back to this. So I'm going to move on to the last question, which is, how am I going to display my learning and what is my final project going to look like? It says, please see the list of project ideas below. And so there's several project possibilities we've listed. One, you could make a scrapbook that documents your project. I could create a visual display of my project using Prezi, Haiku Deck, or etc. if I know of something other way to display it visually. I could make a video story of my project, including interviews if they are relevant to showing how my project had an impact on the school. I could create graphs and spreadsheets that visually demonstrate my project's impact on the school. And then last one says, what ideas do you have? So if there's something on that list and you have an idea, please, by all means, pose that to us as well. For the purpose of this, I could see myself making, I'm going to make a video story of my project. I will record as many of the steps, conversations, and interviews as possible, and piece them together in an iMovie. I will put this movie to music and present on the final learning day. I will not just show the movie, but I will also add my commentary to fully explain my project, what I learned, and how it positively impacted the school. Okay, I'm just going to reread that to make sure I said everything I wanted to. I'm going to make a video story of my project. I will record as many of the steps, conversation, and interviews as possible and piece them together in an iMovie. I will put this movie to music and present on the final learning day. I will also add my commentary to fully explain my project, what I learned, and how it positively impacted the school. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what I want to say. Um, so at this point, I think this is probably a pretty strong example of a thorough project proposal. Okay. Watch this video as many times as you need be, and actually, probably what I'll do is post this to the website as a sample so that you can go look at it in still time as well. Um, and if there's any questions, you can, of course, ask them in class. So thanks for watching, and